Joe Rogan speaks on Justin Gaethje vs. Charles Oliveira, UFC 274. As we all know, the legend himself, Charles Oliveira, has been on a winning streak. He succeeded defending his world champion title belt against Dustin Poirier. As if that wasn't enough, the UFC has agreed to setting him up with his next fight against Justin Gaethje, coming up in May at the UFC 274. This ridiculous matchup has UFC fans from all across the world excited to see what happens in May. Of course, one of the most shocking reactions about this matchup came from the man himself, Joe Rogan. Just like everyone else, Joe was thrilled to see that this matchup actually got confirmed. And what he said on his podcast about these two guys has people shook. Be sure to watch this video until the end as we get into detail about what Joe Rogan has to say about Justin Gaethje facing Charles Oliveira in UFC 274. Thanks for stopping by. For more UFC content, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We post daily UFC updates and news. Before we jump into this video, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and comment keyword UFC to enter a chance at winning our brand new iPhone 13 giveaway. We all remember the Charles Oliveira vs. Dustin Poirier fight at UFC 269. This matchup seemed unreal at first. Everyone seriously believed that Dustin Poirier actually had a chance at taking away Charles Oliveira's belt, especially after he took Conor McGregor out so easily. Dustin Poirier seemed like the ultimate matchup, the man who would end Charles Oliveira's reign. But of course, to everyone's surprise, Charles Oliveira proved to everyone that he is the one true champion. He took out the big man Dustin Poirier like it was easy to him. Charles Oliveira is truly one of the most tactical fighters the UFC has ever seen. He is great at what he does, and it's kinda crazy how unrealistic it is. The true question is, will Justin Gaethje be the man who puts the legend Charles Oliveira's record to an end? Just like everyone else, I'm unsure of that answer. I honestly don't know. I've gotta be honest, I'm a Charles Oliveira fan from day one, but I can't lie, Gaethje seems like a tough competitor. Gaethje is a man of pride and he puts his heart into the art of MMA. It seems iffy to me, and if I was asked to predict this fight, I would literally have no answers. But that's not what Joe Rogan thinks. Joe has a lot to say about this topic and seems to be on the opposite spectrum of me. As we all know, Joe Rogan is a trusted source, and even though I'm surprised about his reaction, I'm supportive about his opinion, and it's super interesting to me that Joe Rogan publicly said this about the matchup between Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira. What can I say? UFC 274 will truly be an interesting and historic event. Charles Oliveira has been preparing for this moment his entire life, but Justin Gaethje also feels like he's deserving of the world champion title belt. Oliveira was born in the poor part of the favelas of Brazil, in the tourist town known as Sao Paulo. Charles started playing football dreaming he'd become a professional player, but at the age of 7 he started to feel ill. He regularly had pains in his body and had problems walking. In some cases, he couldn't move his legs. He was diagnosed with rheumatic fever, which severely affected his ankles and joints. The medic told his family that he could become paraplegic one day. Despite all the challenges, Oliveira was introduced to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu by his neighbor named Paulo. While his family had a very low income, the BJJ Gym's coach offered Charles Oliveira classes for free as part of a social program. His family helped fund his training by selling street snacks and discarded cardboard. Paulo, the man who introduced Charles Oliveira to Jiu-Jitsu, later died caught in the crossfire of a shootout when Charles Oliveira was only 14 years old. Charles Oliveira began training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Roger Carrello at the age of 12, winning his first major title belt as a white belt in 2003. He was awarded his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Erickson Cardoso and Jorge Macaco. His nickname, the Bronx, comes from the Bronx borough of New York City, literally meaning from the Bronx, as Bronx was a slang for favelas and poor neighborhoods. In an interview, he said Bronx is because it's a favela, right? Outskirts, where I come from. The Bronx practically came when I went to a fight in an amateur tournament and they told me to get them a nickname. I was just Charles Oliveira. When we went to fight some jiu-jitsu championships, they also said, look at the guy from the Bronx, from the favela. So I put the Bronx as my nickname ever since then. Charles Oliveira came from a poor neighborhood and really never had much. Charles has achieved goals bigger than he could possibly imagine and is one of the greatest MMA fighters alive. He went from a poor sick kid in the favelas to the UFC world champion. Charles Oliveira is now a grown champ. He's married to the woman of his dreams and has a daughter named Taylor. Charles still lives near his old neighborhood and regularly helps out charities for people in his town. It's amazing to see the things that Charles has accomplished and how far he's come. I look forward to seeing his fight against Justin Gaethje. Thanks for stopping by. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, and comment keyword UFC to enter a chance at winning our brand new iPhone 13 giveaway. See you next time.